Hello and welcome back to another episode of Why So Sidious a Nerd podcast. Joining me today is my co-host Jeremy Dar. We're a little light today, just the two of us sitting down for another edition of Week in Geek. Some good news coming out. Got a couple random, UFO Steven Spielberg movie, Call of Duty movie. We have an Avengers Doomsday teaser, leaked details, and others. And don't forget to check us out on social media at YSO Pod on Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. We have 983 subscribers on YouTube as of this morning. So 17 more. Come on, guys. Let's get to that 1,000 mark. So if you're listening and you haven't subscribed on YouTube yet, please do. And our last couple episodes, we did have our Alien Earth review from last weekend. It's a pretty good show. All of us enjoyed it. JD was not able to join us, but he also enjoyed the show as well. We also had a Week in Geek, the canceled Hunt for Solo movie, Ahsoka Season 2 wrap filming, Ultron is confirmed in Vision Quest. We also do have our Sidious Star Wars roadmap, where it was the three of us and Cody, and we brought our 3 movies, 3 shows, and 3 books or comic books. We were kind of taking the role of Kathleen Kennedy to see how we would make the future of Star Wars. All right, let's get into our topics. And then, we are also reviewing a quick review on episode 1 of Welcome to Derry at the end. So, our first piece of news, John Williams will score Steven Spielberg's new UFO film, making it their 30th collaboration. This film stars Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Coleman Domingo, and Wyatt Russell. Some familiar faces there. It is in theaters June 12th, 2026. So, adding to the massive slate of movies next year. So, are you a big Spielberg fan, and how do you feel about John Williams coming back one more time to compose a movie?
The big news for me is that Spielberg is doing a UFO film. So John Williams, of course, legendary and iconic. But I have a lot of questions about this UFO film. Like, is it supposed to be like a realistic, world that we live in and aliens visit, or are we going full on like alien sci-fi? So those are the details I'm interested in. John Williams, I get the iconic legendary status he's in. But I'm personally not a huge fan, so that's cool. More excited just to see a Spielberg UFO film.
The plot details are under wraps, but it's a mix of spectacle and human emotion, reminiscent on some of his classic works. Yeah, I would imagine it's like a invading Earth type of UFO movie. That seems like more his thing than like an interstellar kind of going around.
Like a War of the Worlds or something.
Right, something like that. And didn't he do Poltergeist? Isn't that Spielberg's movie?
I don't know.
Because that's a classic kind of, not totally UFO, but in the same kind of.
I wonder if he is adapting an old sci-fi book.
That would be cool. No, yeah, he did do Poltergeist. Yeah, he hasn't really done a UFO movie. I'm thinking here.
And what are Spielberg's last?
No, he did do War of the Worlds. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
He directed War of the Worlds. Never mind. I didn't know that.
Okay.
I never knew that.
Old book. When did the movie come out?
2005.
Oh, weird. Yeah.
Oh, no, excuse me. I am totally off here. I think one of his first movies was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977. So that is his kind of alien movies so far. So we'll see how it goes.
Is he still on a streak or anything? Is he making good movies still?
I mean, I don't think he's really made a lot lately.
He did The Fabelmans in 2022.
Ready Player One.
Never heard of that. Yeah, and that was okay. Not nearly as good as the book. It was still
okay. I liked it.
I did still like the movie. Yeah, it's coming out on Netflix.
Cool.
This weekend.
Yeah, West Side Story seems like no one really saw that, huh? Yeah, but we'll see. Of course, it'll probably make it onto one of our box office teams for next year. And also, sticking with movies coming out in 2026, due to The Odyssey, Spider-Man Brand New Day won't be getting an IMAX release. The Odyssey will be the only film shown in IMAX from July 17th to August 14th. So Tom Holland and John Bernthal are taking away IMAX from Tom Holland and
Yeah,
John Bernthal
saw that.
because the two of them are in both of those movies. So it's a big summer for those two, but that might impact Spider-Man Brand New Day's box office a little bit if it's not in IMAX. You think?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I didn't really care about that. It didn't seem super significant to me personally. I kind of get whatever screen's available for the right time. I don't care if it's IMAX. When I end up in an IMAX movie, I'm really stoked about it, and it looks amazing. But like, it doesn't influence my decision making when I go to movies, and that's just me. I'm sure there's a ton of people out there. I don't think it'll affect the box office as much, just because the people who are seeing this are gonna freaking go see it, right? This is Spider-Man, right. So um, it's funny how Bernthal and Tom Holland, dude, they're gonna have a massive paycheck for
Holy
this
crap.
year. Those both potentially could be the highest. Well, Doomsday is going to be the highest box office, no doubt. But right behind that, Spider-Man or the Odyssey. I mean, those are like very likely could be. I mean, both of those could be second place. Right. So
we also have Star Wars and Dune. So don't forget Star Wars and Dune as well. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Dune will be in the top 3. I think you're pretty close.
Do you think Odyssey will have a higher box office than Mandalorian and Grogu?
Ooh.
There's IP there, but there's also kind of a lack of trust in the Star Wars IP. And
I think it'll be pretty close, honestly, because just the cast of the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan, everyone knows that story. It's like the first story ever told, basically, so.
Right. Yeah, it is very significant to humanity. So I think if Mandalorian and Grogu somehow they pull off a magic trick and make this movie incredible, which that's not impossible. Like, they could very well do that. It's still Star Wars. We like the characters and stuff. We're just like, is it going to be different from the show? But if that movie is incredible, then that mixed with the IP will probably push it past Odyssey, I think. But if it's just okay or good, I think Odyssey might have a higher box office because it is Christopher Nolan too.
Yeah, I'd probably say Odyssey has a bigger opening weekend, and maybe Star Wars gets the people going back to watch it a second time. You know what I mean?
If you could only see one movie, Odyssey or Mandalorian and Grogu, which one would you do?
Star Wars. I mean, it sucks, but I'd have to watch Star Wars.
Yeah, I guess. But I think just like genuinely, I would rather see the Odyssey.
It's going to be a better movie.
It's going to be a better movie. And plus, this isn't like the last Star Wars movie before that big Thrawn climax movie. If that was the case, I would choose that to see like the direct development.
Right.
But it's going to be an interesting year.
All right. And now we have, moving on, we have Taylor Sheridan will write and produce the live-action Call of Duty film. Peter Berg, who directed Lone Survivor and Deepwater Horizon, is set to direct. So this could just be another war movie. We don't know what era, Black Ops, Modern Warfare. I'm probably not going to go like World War II or something. I imagine they'll go more modern with it. But are you excited for this?
I don't really care about this, to be honest. That was what I was going to ask you. Do you think, because we've done all the eras in Call of Duty, like the advanced weaponry and then the World War II stuff. Yeah. To me, the Call of Duty brand doesn't point to any particular story at all. Like, if it's military related, you could throw a Call of Duty title on it. So I don't know where they're going with this. I kind of expect just another war movie or somewhere in between action and war. Like, it's not going to be like a Saving Private Ryan type of war movie like that, right. Or even Quiet on the Western Front, like nothing like that, but way more action-y oriented war movie, if that makes any sense. And then the Call of Duty IP, I don't know. I don't care, dude. I mean, it's not often that gaming translate to movies or shows that well. We've seen it done. Last of Us, a couple. But yeah, it's whatever, man. We'll see how the first trailer looks.
Yeah, I kind of fell off on Call of Duty the last 10 years or so, but it's like Ghost, and there's a couple like main characters that are in a few games, I think, like the Modern Warfare games.
So there you go. Yeah, they do have some characters that are established that people really look forward to seeing and stuff. Because there's that Ghost guy that has the black mask, kind of looks like Crossbones from Marvel.
Yeah,
you see him a lot.
Right. So we'll see how it goes. Next, moving on, we did get our final Stranger Things trailer where a lot was revealed, more than the last one. So, what were your first overall thoughts on this Stranger Things trailer?
My first overall thoughts agreed with a lot of headlines. Like, it was epic. Like, that's a lot of the headlines I saw, and it really did feel epic. This felt like Marvel to me. It felt like peak Marvel, especially when Vecna and the Demogorgs take out all those soldiers, and then you see Vecna like his body repairing. It kind of looked like Groot, and he has such a villainous presence. Like, this show went from horror slash thriller mystery to sci-fi action. Like, it's so
Yeah,
straight up action movie now.
with the Demigorgons and the all the military guys out there shooting guns and like attacking everyone. That was like
Yeah.
a War of the Worlds type of scene too. Like we haven't seen that in Stranger Things before, where it's like an open battle like that, you know, with a
Right.
bunch of people.
And we've seen a little bit of that here and there, but not at that scale, right?
Right.
And then you see afterwards, all those bodies are just on the floor as Vecna's walking around repairing his body. So I feel like that scene's going to be really cool. You know,
Right.
Vecna's own little Darth Vader hallway scene. The age differences with the kids didn't jar me too much. I'm glad. So
Yeah, actually.
it seems to work out okay. This was filmed quite a bit ago, though. It's not like they just wrapped filming
That's
recently.
true.
So that makes sense. But I am very excited. We all just rewatched Stranger Things, reigniting our excitement for this. And I really can't wait. And I like the format. I really like that we're getting big old, like long chunks of it as we go. There's a few, you know, what is it, like 4-hour or 2-hour episodes?
Yeah, it's long.
So that's really cool. It's almost like we get, you know, 3-4 Stranger Things movies. And that kind of fits the vibe of it. It feels cinematic and epic. So that makes sense.
And of course, we will be doing a Stranger Things prep episode and probably next week or the week after before the season comes out. Ranking the seasons, maybe top 5 characters, do some predictions for season 5, maybe see who's not going to make it, because I definitely have a couple that I think from this trailer. But what do you think Will's role will be with Vecna needing him one last time? Like, obviously, he has that trauma from season 1 that's been carrying over throughout the whole show. And this could be like the good bring it all for full circle to end things.
First thing that comes to mind is maybe he wants Will's body, which I don't know why, but there is a connection with Will. So we're tying back to season 1 and 2 where he had that direct connection to that.
He knew where it was, knew when it was coming.
Yeah. And that's not a Demogorgon. Do we have a name for that thing?
The Mind Flare.
Yeah, the Mind Flare.
The big one.
And wasn't the Mind Flare a creation of Vecna's anyway?
I think so.
So it's kind of like a manifestation of Vecna's. So he's been after Will this whole time, right? But we don't really know. We don't really know why. So we'll get the answers. Maybe he just wants his body, or maybe he, you know, maybe Will's a vessel for infiltrating the consciousness of all humanity, you know, something like that.
Yeah, that's not bad. He could trick him at least. 2 questions that will be answered. What is the Upside Down truly, and why was Will taken in season 1? So we'll talk about that again on our Stranger Things episode, but that's 2 things, which is good because I want to know what the Upside Down is. It's kind of confusing where, I don't know, there's like 2 different kind of Upside Downs going on. It's weird how, you know, like 11 can go into that like black water world and like walk around and see things, but there's also the Upside Down at the same time. So
I picture it as you know, matter and antimatter. You know, like for every speck of matter that exists, there's supposed to be the equal amount of antimatter. I was talking about Anti-Monitor, the DC villain. But yeah, so that's what it always felt like to me. Like this is like an antimatter world,
right? Like Us. You've seen that?
Movie? Yeah,
Us.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
Let's move on to Marvel. So we do have some rumored details for the first Avengers Doomsday teaser. It said it will be much more than a simple preview. It shows that Doctor Doom relies on his armor because his body is completely broken. Doctor Doom is portrayed as a classic Universal-style monster, drawing comparisons to Eric from Phantom of the Opera. A little out of our time or age frame. The teaser will be reportedly attached to Avatar Fire and Ash. So how do you feel about this Doctor Doom? You were kind of saying maybe he's disfigured, he's injured, and he relies on this suit. What do you think about that?
Well, that's what they said, right? And I have always thought that Doctor Doom and Vader were so similar, at least aesthetically,
Okay.
right? They have,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what that reminds me of. If his whole body is broken, like that's not really from the comics, but that's what it sounded like the description there was. Um, so that's kind of cool. I'm really looking forward to that. But that's what we're supposed to get in the trailer, which is really cool. Like this, dude, this teaser trailer, I feel like is their most important trailer ever, just period, because people are still a little iffy on Marvel. And if you just come out the gates showing us like
Doom.
the
Like
basic
a Doom.
concept of
It's
Doom
like a
and his
Doom
suit,
teaser trailer. All
dude,
him.
yeah, that could be just so epic. Even if it is 30 seconds of just who is Doom, what are his powers, or anything, just Doom related, that would pump you up. Plus, since we don't have any recognition with this villain like we did Thanos for so long before Infinity War, it would be nice to use a teaser to like show the fans who Doctor Doom is, so everyone knows, oh, that's Doctor Doom,
Mm-hmm.
and that could kind of be enough to develop his character a little bit and lead that into Doomsday, since we have never seen him on screen.
Yeah, even a Vader type scene where, like, Vader in the when the egg comes
End of
up,
Revenge of the Sith.
and and
Like that.
like no, yeah, like either one, but like just so Doom like from the back, and like he's putting his armor on, maybe his body's a little scarred or something, and then just turns around with the mask on. Oh, that'd be cool,
dude. And then I had me thinking again, like the problem with RDJ, and if the people sitting in the theater, they're going to see RDJ and it'll be jarring. But if RDJ is playing this dude who has a completely disfigured face, I think that really does a lot to help that cause, because it just doesn't look like Tony Stark. He's all jacked up, messed up. He might have his voice. I think RDJ, do you think he's going to do a good job portraying a completely different person than Tony Stark? He's a great actor. I think he'll do that just fine.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do a good job. It's just gonna be, how do they tell the story if people do see his face? How are they gonna?
Right, because I imagine we will see his face for like to see how he got disfigured, for flashbacks and a little origin-y Doom stuff.
It's really interesting how they're gonna pull this off.
I think we'll get like a summary of the Doom origin in Doomsday.
Right.
Through flashbacks, the same way Thanos, and it showed Thanos and Gamora's relationship in Infinity War.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that. So, Avatar. I mean, I don't want to go see it opening night, but if they're gonna have all these trailers, and it's like reportedly, like I'm pretty sure they're not gonna release it on YouTube right away. It really seems like it's gonna be part of Avatar for a couple weeks and then go on the internet. That's what I'm getting, at least.
Yeah, dude. Do you think this trailer alone, if it's confirmed to come out for Avatar, will raise Avatar's box office just for
Even
people
more?
excited to see this trailer? Yeah,
Just what Avatar needs, more money.
Like, tell me you wouldn't consider it more now that Doomsday trailer is going to be on that. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should see it in theaters and check that out too.
It's such a long movie, though. I imagine it's over 3 hours.
Yeah,
long ones. Keeping it on Avengers, but going back to the one that was canceled. So, of course, Michael Waldron, the writer of Loki season 1 and 2, and also the writer for Kang Dynasty and Doomsday. So, obviously, when Kang Dynasty got scrapped, they moved him on to Doomsday. Feige seems to really like him. He did a pretty good job with Loki. He did a Reddit AMA, Ask Me Anything session with his fans, because he's also doing the Chad Powers show that just came out with Glenn Powell. I don't know. It looks kind of dumb to me, but busy guy. But some Marvel questions were definitely included in the mix. And someone asked him about if anything from the Kang Dynasty script was brought over into Doomsday, or if they had to just kind of wipe it and rewrite it all. He said, Jeff Loveness and I spent an afternoon pitching on the Young Avengers defeating a version of Kang and being so stoked about it, only to discover that particular Kang carried a little card that said to be patient with him. It was his first day as Kang. And then they were so bummed. I think he was going to be the Lizard King from the end of Kang Dynasty, or Ant-Man Quantumania post-credit scene. We saw one of those Lizard Kings. I don't know. Anyway, we had fun. So, woof, first of all. And Jeff Loveness doesn't have the greatest past. I think he did Quantumania. I think he wrote Quantumania. So, definitely that Chapek style that he liked. So,
yeah.
Are you happy that this isn't happening anymore?
That makes me so happy. Yeah, just that sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like that would be just the first bad Avengers movie. And
Right.
you can't make an Avengers movie bad at this point. You just can't do that. Yeah, when you end your description with like, yeah, I don't know, we had fun. It doesn't exactly give me confidence with stuff you were cooking up for an Avengers movie. So, and now instead we have the Russo brothers, and now instead we have Robert Downey Jr. as a main villain, Doctor Doom, like the probably the coolest villain in comics. So I'm thrilled. Yeah, I mean, it just makes me so much more excited to see what they cooked up instead of that, because that sounds awful.
Imagine the Russo brothers with Jonathan Majors, though.
Oh,
Ooh,
dude, I know. See, I
that
do
would be
want a
such a
Kang
good.
dynasty, but not a
Right.
lizard Kang. But I think a Kang dynasty would be really
Right.
cool. Especially we got a taste of Majors as Kang, and it was awesome.
Right.
So
But here we are. We're moving on. You have to let the past die. All right, Hawkeye season 2. Renner confirms he wants to do it, and they're still working ideas for it. So he's obviously down. He must have recovered from that very serious snowplow injury that he almost died from. That was a few years ago. So he's back to acting. And do we think he will play a role in Doomsday or Secret Wars? Probably, right? One of the two.
I would imagine no on Doomsday, yes on Secret Wars. Mostly because he might have still been recovering while they were filming Doomsday, even though it's like, I mean, it just wrapped filming, so maybe not.
Right.
I don't think he was ready to go full Hawkeye mode for Doomsday though, and maybe it'll be just like in Infinity War, he had almost nothing going on, and then
He wasn't in it.
he wasn't in it at all. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Endgame, he had actually quite a big role
Yeah.
as Ronin, so I kind of see that happening again. But I do imagine he'll be in one of them.
Well, he's like I said before, Hawkeye is undefeated in Avengers movies. So
Oh, yeah.
he needs to not be in Doomsday where they lose, and then he comes back in Secret Wars so he can keep that streak going of
Right.
would be 4-0 in Avengers movies.
You kind of expect him and Kate here, like you see on the image, to have some screen time together.
I
in
could
an
see
Avenger
Kate being
movie.
in Doomsday though, if she's not already confirmed. She is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think the Young Avengers will play a big role, especially because like all this Wanda talk and Doctor Doom and the Young Avengers were tied to this. I mean, it was called the Children's Crusade, where the Young Avengers were looking for Wanda. Like that
Because
was the
her
purpose.
two sons are in it normally, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So it was her two sons, and all the Young Avengers were literally trying to look for her. And then they found her with Doctor Doom. So that
Oh,
they could actually play right into something like that because he
damn.
wanted her powers.
That could have been a cool movie to lead up to this. The Young Avengers looking for Wanda, and then they find her
Right.
with Doctor Doom at the end of the movie, setting up
Right.
Doomsday.
See, I think that's going to be like their own little task. I kind of think the Young Avengers will have a look for Wanda kind of goal in the first half of this
Right.
movie. And because you saw those photos, not set photos, but what are they called when it's just the
Concept
idea?
design?
Concept photos of like Peter Quill hanging out with the Young Avengers
Oh,
and
that'd
stuff
be
like
funny.
that. That'd be really fun. Yeah. But we'll
Because of
see,
course,
man.
Infinity War and Endgame had all these intertwining storylines where the Guardians were doing their thing and
Right.
Tony and Doctor Strange were doing their thing. So obviously the Young Avengers can go off, do their own thing, and then you have the main Avengers and the Thunderbolts / New Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men.
Right.
We'll see how it all goes.
As far as Hawkeye season 2, though, like wouldn't be like super excited about it. Season 1 was good. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty solid, like up there compared to the Disney Plus Marvel shows. So season 2 of Hawkeye can happen or not happen, and I'd be like, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, DC. The Lanterns show, we talked in our last episode that it wrapped filming. And there are themes of replacement, a couple time periods. Hal versus John is similar to Harrelson and McConaughey in the first season of True Detective, which is cool. They're bitter friends, so obviously there's probably something that happened in the past to where they're not as close to each other as they once were. And they're investigating a lantern death in Nebraska. That's kind of funny.
Found him in a cornfield.
Right? Classic.
only
That sounds
find
very True Detective. So
It totally does.
if there's like a galactic True Detective, I'm in.
Yeah, this sounds awesome, dude. From the beginning, I think Lanterns was high on all of our lists. And I think the best part about this is we're finally getting away from the James Gunn flavor. I think going into the DCU as optimistic as I was, the one concern I had was too much James Gunnism in there.
Right.
And look what we got so far. Super Gun.
Super Gun. Hey, minus basically it
Might as
was.
well. Superman is still good, but then Peacemaker,
Season 2.
a deep dip from the quality of season 1, and it was very James Gunny. Especially that finale was just like painfully just James Gunn. It wasn't even Peacemaker at that point. So I'm really happy to step away from that, because that you could worry about that, but look at what's coming up next. Supergirl, he didn't write or direct that. Lanterns, he didn't write or direct that. Clayface, straight up horror, didn't write or direct that. So finally we're getting into a new flavor of the DCU that's not James Gunn. And just the Lanterns, the Green Lanterns in the DC universe are just some of my favorites. They have such cool backstory, and I can't wait to see what this murder is about. Apparently the murder is a Green Lantern, so an actual lantern is murdered on Earth. Okay. And that sounds exciting, dude. And we already know it's going to lead towards the major DCU threat. And I'm really excited to see Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler interact. I feel like their dynamic is going to be really solid. And we keep hearing that it's like True Detective, like more and more, literally down to their relationship. Like it's like Woody Harrelson and Matt McConaughey. Very excited though. Really, really can't wait for this.
Damon Lindelof wrote an episode. That's interesting.
Ozark. Is that Ozark's guy?
The guy who was going to do the Star Wars movie too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, I'm very interested in the show. I know little to nothing about Green Lantern. I don't think I've ever even watched the old, don't remember watching the old movie. So I'm just going to go in with a nice, fresh, clean slate. See how it goes. I think it's going to be good.
And Nathan Fillion was quoted saying he's never had so many F-bombs said on a set before for the filming. It sounds like this is going to be rated R is what I'm getting at. So that's like a dream, man. A rated R Green Lantern show. I mean, movie series, whatever. If that's really rated R, I don't care. If it's PG-13, I'm still just as excited, but that could be cool if it's fully rated R.
Mm-hmm. And Brave and the Bold. Movie that, it's kind of weird how we haven't heard anything about it, and it's been quite a few years, and I feel like it's kind of this James Gunn thing where Superman, Supergirl, tomorrow. What is it? The next one, Friends of Tomorrow, Man of Tomorrow. But Muschietti's sister was interviewed. Says Andy is still directing it, and we have to wait a couple months to talk about it. So, kind of interesting. I mean, it's weird. We haven't got a casting announcement. It hasn't started filming. I guess the Batman 2 with Robert Pattinson is probably the issue here, where
priority,
that comes out. Doesn't that come out next year too? It has to, right? It can't.
I thought it was like 28 now or something, probably 27. So not next year, because I think it's supposed to come out with Man of Tomorrow. I think it's scheduled for the same year. I don't know.
Are you still excited for this?
Yeah, of course. I think that she said that we can't talk about it for a couple of months says a lot. I feel like that means they got stuff to say soon.
Yeah.
Like you literally said, we can't talk about it for a couple of months. So we could expect something in a couple of months. And I was hoping that Andy Muschietti was kind of leaving the project, because since we haven't heard so much about it, I thought I heard of turmoil with Andy Muschietti in that movie. That could be wrong, but I am still a little reluctant with him after seeing The Flash. Although his Batman stuff was good.
He's doing Welcome to Derry right now. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, really?
He's the It director, and he's directing Welcome to Derry. He did episode 2.
And he did the It movie?
Both of them. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I kind of hated the second one. The first reboot, It was really good. Yeah.
Oh, you don't like the second one? Okay.
I didn't like the second one. He turned into a giant god spider. It's too much.
That was dumb. Yeah. That's from the book, though.
I know.
Yeah, but
there's a lot from the book they like to keep out, and they should. But Andy, okay, well, I didn't know that. I think he could do good at Batman. Then, I mean, dark, rounded, not crime, but kind of horror oriented. I'd love a little horror in my Gotham universe. Anyway, I mean, Batman's villains are all pretty scary.
Yeah.
except the Riddler. Even he was scary. He was very horror in the Batman one.
He was.
Because they made him that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Batman 2 comes out in 2 years, October 1st, 2027. So
okay. Yeah, and I guess we could expect some actual news in a couple months for Brave and the Bold.
I'm excited. Do we cast the Bat family?
Not yet.
Not yet. We should do that. I'll write that down.
I have my Tim Drake. I saw someone in a show called Fool Me Once. I saw my Wonder Woman and Tim Drake in the show called Fool Me Once.
Okay. There you go.
Michelle Keegan, and I forgot the guy's name. Anyway.
All right. And our last topic of the day is Welcome to Derry. So here's your spoiler warning. Thank you for joining us. If you have not seen Welcome to Derry or are not interested in it. So just a quick rundown of the first episode. The premiere episode opens in 1962 with a boy named Matty Clemens sneaking into a showing of The Music Man at Derry's local theater. After being caught and trying to leave town, he's attacked when a woman's car stops, and she suddenly gives birth to a grotesque winged demon baby that kills him. Wild. Totally didn't see that coming. I don't know why they need to do so many birth scenes in shows now, but
gross. That scene made me not want to watch it. It was gross. Like the sound effects, and you're looking at like up close in between her legs and the blood. It was just like, why are we doing this? Is so far. People are too into body horror nowadays, dude. Y'all got to tone it down. You don't need to see it. It's too much. The boys, you got too. Just tone it down a little bit.
Yeah. 4 months later, Major Leroy Hanlon, his wife and son arrive at the Derry Air Force Base. The local kids, Lily, Teddy, Phil, and Phil's sister, investigate Maddie's disappearance, only for Lily to experience terrifying visions, voices from the bathtub drain, and bloody fingers reaching out. They sneak back into the old movie theater, and Maddie appears on the screen holding the demonic baby before the creature bursts from the projection into reality, slaughtering Teddy, Phil, and Susie. The episode ends with only Lily and Ronnie surviving. So literally the three main characters in the first episode died at the end. It was kind of wild, pretty ballsy.
Since we're doing full spoilers, was it the It clown or was it like a demon baby?
It was the demon though. The kid that died in the beginning showed up on the screen at the movie theater. And then he like threw the baby through the screen and it popped out and like started flying around and it killed three of them.
Damn.
Yeah. Episode 2 actually came out last night. I watched a little bit of it. There was one of those classic kind of waking nightmare things where the girl is in her room at night and then her like dead mom shows up, kind of scares her and then like turns into a monster and starts like chasing around the room and stuff. It was pretty creepy. But when her like mouth opened to show these teeth, and her stomach opened and had this like rope that was bringing her in. But then you saw the Pennywise eyes inside of her stomach, and then in the last episode, when the kid was in the car, the creepy brother does the Pennywise smile, and you can like see his like creepy face going like Pennywise. So we haven't seen him yet. Maybe he shows up at the end of episode 2. But there's hints that he is around, so we'll see how it goes.
Interesting. Yeah, see, I don't like the extra mythological lore, like divine stuff going on. I really like the clown killing people. That's just, it. I like the grounded it, I guess. I never thought I'd say that about a horror movie. It got too outlandish. But yeah, so I really hope Pennywise shows up a lot more in the future. You think he probably will?
Yeah, they showed him a few scenes of him in the rest of season trailer after the first episode. So, and there is one other thing that's kind of cool in this. In the second episode, we meet Dick Halloran. Does that name ring a bell at all? That is the cook from The Shining, the black guy who's there at first, who has The Shining as same as Danny. And this is a Stephen King kind of classic where a lot of his characters will show up in 2 different books.
That is cool.
So we have a young Dick Halloran who is at the Air Force Base with the one girl's father. So we'll see. That's kind of a cool tie-in. He has like the special powers where he can like see things before they happen and as they're happening in other places, stuff like that.
That is really cool. I had no idea he crossed over his characters, and that makes me happy. I love that shit.
There's a show on Hulu. I've never I watched the first couple episodes, but it's called Castle Rock, and it's like I think Shawshank Prison is in it. It's like kind of centers around Shawshank Prison,
Oh,
but there's also like other characters that like pop in and stuff where it kind of like crosses over his
yeah,
universe in a way. So looks
cool.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it nowadays, I guess.
The Stephen King cinematic universe.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for like Bourne Identity to cross over with Fast and Furious, to cross over with Mission Impossible, to cross over with
No,
007.
it's Fast and the Furious and Transformers. How
Is
sick
that
would
what?
that be?
Yeah, I mean, I
They're
guess they
cars,
have been written to that level of extraordinary at this
right?
point.
Vin
Yeah,
Diesel versus Megatron.
yeah.
And also, taking it back to Stranger Things, season 4 really, like season 4 compared to the first 3 seasons, really pays a lot of homage to things that came before it, like it, um, Nightmare on Elm Street, and
Mhm.
there's the one other one too where it's very strong. Like season 4 is really like going around, taking different things from different franchises. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And season 4 is really where it elevated for me.
mhm.
Season 1 and 4 are the best. Season 1 because of the grounded thriller mystery, and
Yeah,
season 4 because of the sci-fi kind of villain action stuff.
yeah, I know, right? All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for this episode of Week in Geek. What do we got on the horizon? Anything special coming up? What about our recasting the Star Wars characters with modern actors? Would be cool.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna recast the recast Star Wars. We also have a deceased comic review already recorded, dropping
Okay.
shortly after this. This will come out Monday, and then we're gonna cover a Green Lantern comic for the
Nice.
Lanterns, or depending if Supergirl comes out first, we're gonna cover Woman of Tomorrow, the comic that's based off of, and that's as far as comics go. That's what's coming in the future.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time here on. Well, actually, hold on a second. If you've made it to the end, there is a special thing on YouTube right now. We have a news report from the world of Star Wars. So please go check that out. We got some inside info on Palpatine and everything's going on with that Death Star. Just go check it out. It's a good little radio broadcast. But thank you. We will see you next time.
This darn.